Alright, so what is up, guys? This is Thesmalltownretrogamer coming at you with an eBay pickup. Actually, 3 different eBay pickups, and that's for a couple reasons. One, had all these sent to Montana within the last 2-3 weeks, and I'm having more sent just because I knew that I'd be here, and I knew that I'd be here for quite a while, like through most of August I'm going to be here. So that means more live video game hunting coming up if I find anything. This last week I found almost zilch, so that kind of delayed that video. And more of these if I find stuff. So the first picture you saw, and I put the pictures there because that was the easiest way I knew to get them to this video without showing the names of the people that I bought it from, because sellers' names, I don't want to give them out. Just then, God forbid anything happens, you know, copyright infringement type stuff. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I just don't know if that's illegal or not, so I'm not going to do it. So the first one, as you saw, was a $15.50 for 3 PS1 games. First one was Tomb Raider. I'm trying to get out of that glare. It seems like it's there every time. It's probably because I have this computer on back here. See if that helps. Not at all. Tomb Raider. And like a $6-7 game. Nothing too crazy. One of the GOAT games back in the day, but hasn't aged very well. A game that you saw me pick up loose on one of these other eBay things. Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour, and complete. It's like a $10 to $12 game. This one's in much nicer shape, so I'll keep this one, either resurface and trade that other one away, or just trade it away and see if I can get some games that I want for it. And another one that I knew very little about when I got it, Lion King Simba's Mighty Adventure. And all 3 of these are in really good shape, like the guy said they would be. And that one's like 13 to 15. Don't know if it's anything like the Super Nintendo game, and Sega game, which are really fun. But for $15.50 for all 3 of those, thought that was a pretty good deal that I was able to get. And then a deal that, if you look at it, it was okay. It was 10 games, 10 PS1 games, all loose, but he did get cases or something to carry all of them in. And he did say, you know, that most of them should play, most if not all should play, but they are scratched. So I knew that going into it, so I was pretty happy with the $8 I was spending for 10 games. Because I do have some of these, the ones that I already have can be traded away, you know, resurfaced, given to a game shop, put towards games that I want. And for $8 I was able to take a gamble and get some games that hopefully work, and I don't have to resurface to play. So, first one, Soviet Strike. Long line of the Strike games. I didn't look up values for all these because I know they're all like $2 to $5 at most dollar games loose, so just keep that in mind. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Army Men World War Team Assault. One of the PlayStation Jam Pack demo discs. Army Men Sarge's Heroes. I liked the Army Men games when I was growing up until I realized from about the 4th or 5th one they were all the same thing pretty much. This game was the GOAT though. Medal of Honor, one of my favorites growing up. Really liked it. Really good World War II shooter back in the day. Army Men Air Attack 2. And these 2 were really the thing that pushed me to get it, because I do not own this, and I know that. Cubics, robots for everyone, racing robots, and I know it's nothing crazy or anything like that, but... And then Croc, The Legend of the Gobo is probably the most spendy game in here, if you want to call it that, like probably lose $4 to $5. But, you know, that lot for $8, to be able to keep some and get the rest traded in and have that towards another game that I want. I thought that was a pretty good deal. And then the last picture was for an NES lot, and anyone who has ever dealt in or done NES games online knows that, especially on eBay, that NES games are super hard to come by, and if you do come by them, they're usually pretty spendy, especially in lot form. So, sorry, I'm trying to get them all situated here. So this lot, for the $24.50 I ended up spending, I thought it was pretty cool. First one, I'm not going to do it in that loud voice, but gold! I'm not sure if I have that one, but $2 to $3, nothing crazy. No, I have this one. Bandai Golf Challenge, Pebble Beach. I think I have that one actually boxed. One of the very few Nintendo games I have boxed. I think it may be one of the only 2 or 3. Black Cart Sports Series Tennis. Pretty cool to get that, like a $4 or $5 game. Pro Wrestling Black Cart. A little bit of yellowing on there, if you can see it. About the same, 4 or 5, maybe $6. Another one that I know I have, Skate or Die. $3 or $4, nothing crazy. One that I'm pretty sure I don't have, Skate or Die 2, The Search for Double Trouble. Yeah. That's pretty cool. $6, $7, $8 game there. Another one I'm almost positive I don't have, Load Runner. Again, $6 to $8-ish. And the reason I really wanted to purchase this lot, because when I was younger, I was given a Sega Genesis at a pretty young age. I was probably like 5-ish, I want to say, something like that. Because I was born in 1990, for those of you that didn't know. But, and I skipped the NES. I think my brother may have had one. I don't think I played it very much. And I skipped the Super Nintendo. I went straight from the Sega Genesis, which I think was a hand-me-down from my brother, to the N64. So that's why I kind of like collecting for the NES and the Super Nintendo especially, because I kind of missed them. Besides being able to play them at friends' house and stuff like that, I never had one of my own until I got older. But I did have, my mom had a friend who would babysit me, and he had an NES. He was older, he was probably 14, 15, 16 at the time. He had an NES hooked up in his room, or hooked up in the living room, and then I think he had a Super Nintendo in his room that I, being 5 or 6 and being, a high schooler, he'd let me play with it, but if he was there. But the NES, he had a lot more games for it because it was older, it had been out a long time. So he had a bunch of games for that, and I always would play that in the living room when he would watch me. One of the games I remember playing, even though I probably maybe shouldn't have been because I was pretty young, was Maniac Mansion. Label's a little bit busted up top there, but I don't really care. Like a $15 to $17, $18 game, and I could never get past. I would always like find the key under the door, and I just remember even as a little kid thinking that was really cool, the whole game style of it, and never getting very far, dying with it, having all of them dead in 30 minutes. But that was kind of a nostalgic memory for me, and that's one of the games I've been looking out for on the NES that I can remember playing as a child, because there's not a whole lot that I can. So for $24.50 to get that, and then being able to keep a couple of these games and getting some money in trade-ins, because I never sold online or anything like that, so some money for trade-ins for the games that I already have. I thought that was a pretty cool deal. That is going to be it for this week. The question of the week is going to be, what is a game, kind of like, I just put it away, but Maniac Mansion for me, that you didn't own as a kid, but you have very fond memories of? Maybe you played it at a friend's house, or your grandma or grandpa's house, your aunt's house, anything like that. That is it, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.